Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am DM Bloodworth, and as you can see by the graphics, this is going to be a channel news update. So this is episode 38 of those news updates. Graphically, you probably see the 300 up there and wondering, all right, what's this about? Well, my channel has just broken or hit, I should say, 300 subscribers. And the reason why that was important to me was because last August, my channel had just hit the 100 subscriber mark, and I basically said to myself, you know what, I want to try to dedicate more time to the channel and, produce a fairly consistent product of videos that you would be interested in viewing. And my target for this current year, from August to August, was to basically increase by 200% my subscriber base. And so I've actually hit it by May, so ahead of schedule, and without too much begging, for subscribers. So I really appreciate, those of you that have, visited the channel, and, you felt confident enough to subscribe. So just to give a shout out to the subscriber that pushed me over the top, and that's Slab Riftjaw. Kind of cool name. Slab Riftjaw is the member. When I had put out a reissue of my Mifrog video review from over a year ago, I had put that on the Mifrog gaming group on Facebook, and basically said, hey, if anybody's going to put me over the top today, I'm hoping it comes from that community, because that particular video is my most viewed video. And so, since I knew I was very close to this, to this milestone, I wanted it to be through someone in that community to actually push me to that point. So, as hoped for, that's what happened today. So, continuing on with the news of the channel, I have several upcoming videos that I just wanted to forecast here. And the first, as a thank you to the Mifrog community, the first one that I'm going to put up is a review of When Night Falls. So When Night Falls is the first official adventure written for the RPG Mifrog. Mifrog is currently in its version 2.7, which brings together a lot of the older supplements into just one big core book. And the core book is all you need in order to play the game. And all of these products that I show you are available through Amazon, so you can still get them on Amazon. And as far as game systems are concerned, it's really cheap to get into this game system. I think the core rulebook is still about $13 on Amazon, so certainly worth the try. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a video sometime either later today. I have a dentist appointment today, so I'm not sure I'll be able to talk afterwards. But if I do get a chance to put up a video today, a review of this game, this adventure, I should say, will come up, as my next video, most likely. I'm going to do something a little different as far as an adventure review. Is I'm going to talk about not the very descriptive storytelling of the adventure, because I don't want to ruin it for anyone who might decide to pick it up and run it. But I want to talk about the elements of adventure writing, and in particular how it meshes in with the core rulebook of Mifrog, and what Mifrog as an RPG is really meant to do, And so I'm going to talk about the components of storytelling in the adventure. So that's the first video that's going to come up. The second video, and I may break the order of these. I mean, this is certainly the first one. The second will be The Depths of Darkness, and once again, a review. Now, this adventure is written by Edward Worrell. Hope I pronounced his last name right. So Edward Worrell, and a longer adventure, but I'm going to do the same thing with this here. I'm going to just key in on the storytelling elements and the way it meshes in with the game system, and particularly the components of it that I find this game is unique in that, those lore elements that really tie into the more ancient, European, connections of storytelling and of its myths and legends and such, dating back to roughly the Iron Age. So this is much older European mythology, if you will, that's being spoken about and talked about in both the game and the adventure itself. And then finally, The Hall of and Terror, which is also by Edward Worrell. And so I haven't had a chance to play this one. I've actually, played the first two. I haven't played this one yet, and I still have to dig into it and give it a second reading through, so that I'm confident to do a video that will, give the adventure some justice. Continuing on, I have a couple things that I'm expecting in the mail this week. I'm expecting High Seas Trader by Impressions, which is a 1995. It was a DOS-based game, and it was the game that first got me into my whole piracy kind of, piracy-themed games and reading and, movies and such. So I really grabbed on to the whole concept of that theme. And as a matter of fact, less than 10 years later, I'm writing a master's degree thesis based on, American privateers during the War of 1812, which is, what I finished my college degree, with. So, it was something that, really inspired me, inspired my reading, inspired my movie viewing, and and much of my gameplay. As a matter of fact, Bloodworth is the name of my character, in High Seas Trader, and so that was a name that I adopted for my role playing, going on now since 1995. So, was that like 24 years of using that name for my gameplay. Also, I'm expecting Vigilante City, the softcover books of Vigilante City, which is put out by Bloat Games. I'm hoping to get that someday, one of these, next couple of days in the mail very soon. And then that way I can actually tear into the game system. I've had the PDFs for a while, but I wanted the physical books in my hand so that I can, show them and flip through them and just talk about the game system and some of the characters, including my own character that is in there. And, wanted to, really give that game and Eric Bloat and his company a real big boost, because he has some really good games that are coming out, and he has a Kickstarter right now called The Blackest of Deaths, which has about a little bit less than 60 hours to go on that, and so I highly recommend that you jump in and check that out. And then finally, I just made a purchase today on eBay, and this is really prompted by one of my new commenters on the on the channel, who kind of commented on my Twilight 2000 video that I had done a couple of months ago, and really inspired me just to let me hit eBay once again and see if I can find the box edition of Twilight 2000, and I happened to find one that looks like it's in fairly good condition and complete, probably other than the dice, obviously, but fairly good condition and complete for about $34, free shipping. So I jumped on it. So I'm expecting that to come in by Friday or as late as the 14th of the month. So hopefully when that comes in, I will, or I should say when that comes in, I'm going to do I'll do an unboxing of that, which I like doing eBay purchases as unboxings more so than a brand new product, and that's because the condition is such a factor when you're getting something that's a used or an older, vintage game, through eBay, and you just never know what you're going to get when you open up that box and you start looking at the condition of the internal contents, and you're seeing for the first time in your hand the condition of the box itself. I really like picking up these box sets from the early 80s, which is when I started. Actually, I started role-playing games in the late 70s, but the early 80s is when I really started buying them on my own instead of just showing up to my friend's house and playing whatever he happened to have. So again, thanks for joining. If you're a first time viewer, I hope that you dig into the channel. There's a wide variety of RPGs out there, multiple platforms, and I hope that you enjoy your visit enough that you decide to subscribe. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments or any suggestions of videos you'd like to see me do in the near future, please leave that in the comments section. If you are running your own Kickstarter and you want me to take a look at the game, please leave a link and I'll jump in there and I'll take a look at the game. If it's something that I feel confident to back, I will back it. I will pitch it out there. I'll put it on my Facebook page. I do frequent, reposts of games that I'm backing, on my Facebook page. I have 1,600 Facebook friends that I blast those things out to. And anybody that either comments on my YouTube channel or certainly subscribes to my YouTube channel, I always reciprocate and I will join your channel. There's probably about 50 or so channels out there where I was the first subscriber to you because you've shown me that support. I like to show you that same support back at you, and hopefully it'll inspire you to, if you haven't started doing your own videos, to start producing your own videos. So once again, you all have a good afternoon. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for putting me over the top to 300, and I look forward to seeing you on the gaming screen sometime very soon. You all have a good afternoon.